Detroit isn't just a city, it's a story. Every block, every table, every voice matters. I'm Arabia, and today we're sitting down with Councilwoman Mary Sheffield, who's running for Detroit mayor, to see who they are beyond the podium, to hear what she stands for, and to understand how she'll work for Detroiters, especially young people. So let's get real. Tell me why you chose this restaurant.
So I chose this restaurant, one, because the food is really, really good. And I think everyone, if you have not had the opportunity to come by the kitchen, Cooking with Q, please come by. They have great food. But also, it is a Black woman-owned business, and they also received money from a program that I've supported every year through Motor City Match.
Yeah, I love that. So what is one Detroit moment that shaped who you are today?
Growing up on 7 Mile and Livernois in my neighborhood, Sherwood Forest, it really molded me into who I am today, whether it was playing outside with my family and friends, knowing all of the neighbors on the block, being involved in all of the extracurricular activities within my school and on my neighborhood and my block. Like, that was a big foundation to really shape and mold me into who I am today. And that is why I always say I love neighborhoods. I'm deeply invested in improving our neighborhoods because it was a big part of shaping me into who I am today.
In terms of your values and personality, who are you when the cameras aren't rolling?
So I would say I'm the same person when they're on or when they're off. I would definitely say that when they're off, though, I definitely love my time in stillness and quietness. But I try to be true to myself and always remain who I am, whether the camera is on or the camera is off.
As a follow-up, what do you stand for that you wish more people knew about you?
I would definitely say, like, my relationship with God is important. I don't know if people see that a lot, but I always try to lead with all of my values being who I am.
In terms of your policy, I would really love to know, name 2 changes you will make in the first year that would improve quality of life for Detroiters, which I know is a huge part of your campaign.
Yeah, so one, we are going to launch an Office of Gun Violence Prevention, which will be the first ever in Detroit. This will allow us to address gun violence as a public health crisis, get funding to address some of the social issues, and really create a community-centered approach to gun violence in our city, while also providing more support and funding for prevention and for our youth, so which I'm very excited about. And then secondly, we are going to be proposing opportunity hubs throughout our city. So we're going to be bringing more wraparound services and city government back into our neighborhoods, which I think is important. A lot of people talk about, not having to go to city government or downtown to access support and services, but wanting to have that support right in their neighborhood.
I'm actually really curious, what led you to decide on these 2 main things as something you want to do in your first 100
Well,
days?
gun violence continues to impact our city, and particularly what we've seen this year alone with youth violence has been very disturbing. I have always believed that we have to have a holistic approach. It can't just be policing. We also have to find more ways to prevent the gun violence in our city by providing more funding for youth services, which I'm very passionate about.
In terms of the city, Detroit is at a huge transition point and a lot of things are changing. What's one challenge you see in the city government that you're ready to tackle differently?
We're going to have to do more with less. And we know that federal funds are going to be cut and not coming as in the way that they were before. So I am going to be a lot more innovative in how we approach diversifying our revenues and bringing money into Detroit. We're also going to be looking at ways that we can bring money in that doesn't necessarily mean taxing people, but are there ways that we're missing out on revenue? We're going to have a chief growth officer who will come to Detroit to help look at ways to diversify our revenue and grow our population as well.
In terms of youth engagement, right, the reason why we're here and the
Yeah.
reason why I'm doing the work that I'm doing, how would you use digital tools or local programs to make participation in civic engagement and city decisions feel real and not performative for younger voters?
Well, I think your platform is a prime example. We have to figure out innovative ways to reach young people in ways that are accessible, especially through technology. And so whatever ways we can foster an environment that promotes these tools, we will do. I was a big proponent and got funding for the first ever tech startup fund, which allows for funding to go into startup tech funds who are cultivating these new ideas and entrepreneurial ideas around tech. To ensure that they are successful in getting those ideas up to fruition.
So last question. We know this, if you win, this will be a historic election.
Yeah.
Just for the people, how does Mary Sheffield, not council president, not politician Mary Sheffield, but how do you as a person feel about that?
Well, I feel honored. I feel like it's a huge calling that God placed over my life, and I'm always grateful and thankful um, to God for I feel like choosing me for such a time as this and to be a vessel. So I know it's a huge responsibility. To much is given, much is required. But I do feel like there's a lot of women that are leaning to me, that are looking up to me, and I take that as a huge responsibility and a task to make sure I deliver for all of us and show the world what us women can do when we lead. So,
Period.
period.
Love that.
Yes, yes, yes.